Ugh, another long week of watching sweaty men play with balls. But hey, at least the NFL was pretty good this week. Amazon once again delivers with another excruciating watch. Will Levis was starting this week for the Titans. He's not that good, but he realized that if he just threw the ball to DeAndre Hopkins, he would make something happen. Ryan Tannehill unfortunately hasn't realized this. As for the Steelers, their offense is still excruciating. I would rather be put on the rack than watch the Steelers' offense. For those of you who don't know, the rack was used as a form of torture in the London Tower, which consisted of your arms and legs being tied to a ladder. However, the ladder handles were loose and would spin. They would spin the ladder to force confessions out of prisoners of war until all of their arms and legs fell out of their sockets. Unfortunately for the rest of the NFL, the Steelers' defense was good, so they were able to win this game. Tyson Bagent is starting again for the Bears, which isn't very good for them. It is wild to me that both Justin Fields and this dude are on NFL rosters. At the end of the day, all these games boil down to one team doing what they need to, and the Chicago Bears existing. The Saints now have a winning record and are probably going to have a home game during the playoffs, and there is literally no way this team wins a playoff game. I will buzz my head if the Saints win a playoff game. The Browns played the Cardinals at home and it went about as you'd expect. It's pretty hard to say that Cleveland did well, seeing as the Cardinals would rather die than win a football game. I mean, like, how are these guys dodging the tanking allegations? If they can't see a wide open 90-yard touchdown, they just give up. This game was excruciating. It's really hard to make good progress when your quarterback has the accuracy of a 4th grader with dyslexia taking a spelling test. Without Christian Gonzalez and Matt Judon, their zone defense is absolutely atrocious. I genuinely think if the defense did what they needed to do, the Patriots could win 10 games. If you don't believe me, look at this play. This is comically terrible. This is one of the worst defensive plays I've ever seen. These corners are just so lost. How do you let Sam Howell get that good of a play on you? Also, we were about to get the ball back so we could have a game-winning drive, and then there was an offsides penalty. The Cardinals and the Patriots are pretty similar in their record, but the one thing they don't have in common is that one of them is trying to lose. The Ravens were low-key going off on the Seahawks. Really just shows what Justin Fields could have been if he had a good system. I mean, Lamar didn't really play flawlessly. He still has his issue of constantly fumbling. I mean, you can just see the Seahawks did not know what they were doing. The rest of the Ravens just couldn't stop cooking. This game was literally never close. The Ravens are still number 1 in the North, and I think it can stay like that as long as they don't have a little bit of... Alright, I'm a solid 30 seconds off pace. This was the best game of the week. Unnamed random Vikings quarterback got the Vikings a field goal before getting injured, and the boy Josh Dobbs was immediately in and started it off with a safety. Josh Dobbs' goal at the start of this game was to make Vikings fans as sad as possible. I mean, like, what the fuck was that throw? Like, what are you doing? This was a great day to have Younghoe Koo on your team because he dropped a casual 19 points. Unfortunately for Josh Dobbs, the Vikings have the most inefficient defense on planet Earth. At some point during halftime, Kirk Cousins kissed Josh Dobbs on the forehead and made him play like God. This man led a game-winning drive and he hadn't taken a single snap in practice for the Vikings yet. And he fucking won them the game. This is the best game of the week if Josh Dobbs wasn't holding me at gunpoint. The game started out pretty normal. In the second quarter, the Bucks got up to a 10-point lead. CJ Stroud tried to do shit, but unfortunately the Texans have literally nothing going for them. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the second half of this game. CJ Stroud went absolutely crazy. He literally might have had the best rookie performance ever. Look at how crazy some of these balls being thrown are. Bro dropped 41 fantasy points. The Texans defense played like shit and it did not matter. Bro's throwing some of the craziest balls I've ever seen while Bryce Young is still struggling to get past the line of scrimmage. He just casually won the game while throwing 4 touchdown passes in the second half. This is getting so fucking long. I know 0 people care about this game on the planet, so I have a better idea. Now this is some fucking content. This shit sucks. I hate this game. Alright, take 2. Oh, fuck. Oh my god, I'm crazy. I'm actually crazy. I'm actually crazy. Fuck. Oh. Gotta lock in. Ain't no way. Oh! I'm nuts! Oh. He's done it again. You might think this is lazy or bad, but how many other YouTubers out there are putting a gaming video in their sports analysis? Anyways, back to football. I think the best way to describe this game is just with this one play. A really bad kick, and he took literally no advantage of it. Look at this absolute laser. Can we really take a moment to analyze how awful the Panthers O-line is? This entire game, it really didn't matter what the Colts did simply because of how atrocious the Panthers are. My personal highlight of this game was this 57-yard field goal absolutely drilled. Bryce Young with another laser to the other team, and it looks like he's gonna take it back for 6. Okay, Bryce, that was a great throw on 3rd 11. Let's not mess up. And he threw another pick 6. I forgot about this game. This game was shockingly boring for being between these two teams. The Chiefs were actually making progress though. They got up 14-0 nearly before half. And then one of the coolest plays I've ever seen happened. I always think to myself so much why this doesn't happen more. Like, why don't people lateral it back to their friend more? I think the lateral overall is just a very underappreciated play. I think after this, the Dolphins tried making their comeback. They made it a 1-score game after Patrick Mahomes had a shitty fumble. By the way, you actually asked for there to be a football game in Frankfurt. Like, why not like Paris? I've conceptualized this idea for the South Sudan games. NFL, if you're watching this, please make my dream a reality. Oh my god, the Giants suck. Like, it is actually so embarrassing how much they've regressed from last year. I mean, they're just playing like they don't care anymore. I think they've entered football depression. I mean, they've spent so much money on Daniel Jones, and he is so bad. I think they're the only team in recent years to reach this. I think the last time they were here was when they ran their fabled QB sneak on 3rd and 9. For anybody who's a fan of any team in the NFC East, this was the equivalent of the Super Bowl. But for everybody else, they're left wondering why this has 2 million views. Oh, here's a tush push. Make sure to take a shot. I don't know why, but I just feel like everything the Cowboys do is fraudulent. Just watching it, I feel like it looks like they didn't mean to have that play happen. In this game, the Eagles actually started playing like themselves, which was weird because in the past couple of games, they've really been playing down to competition. It was probably because the O-line was too focused on their Christmas album. Oh, hey, take a shot. Quick reminder that these players are professionals and that this is what they do for a living. I don't get how NFL players don't catch the ball sometimes. The classic rivalry between the Bengals and the Bills happened, which was actually the first time Damar Hamlin has been back to this stadium since the incident. Now, I don't want to kill the mood, but Damar Hamlin was benched because he was never that good. The Bengals are back to being one of the best teams in the league, which means that my tier list was right after all. It's weird to think that if you're to go by every physical factor, Josh Allen would seem like a way better quarterback than Joe Burrow, but just something about Joe Burrow makes him so good. Also, Josh Allen still has his big issue of giving 1 interception per game. He has had 1 interception 5 games in a row now. It's a serious problem. This game was an atrocity for New York on the level of 9/11. The Jets have a 23% completion rate on 3rd down, which would be the lowest since 1978. The slightest bit of hope that the Jets might win this game was completely destroyed after the Chargers returned their first punt for a touchdown. It just kept getting worse for the Jets. By the end of the first half, they already had 3 fumbles. I'm stealing this idea from Barry, but as far as I'm concerned, he hasn't done it this week because I'm uploading this before him. So here are my Week 9 awards. No doubt this week, MVP CJ Stroud. He played one of the best rookie games of all time. That man is single-handedly carrying all of Jacksonville on his shoulders. This one was tough for me, but I'm gonna say that my LVP is Bryce Young. A pick is bad, but a pick 6 is a whole other thing, and especially doing it twice in a game. Best team of the week, I'm gonna have to go with the Chargers. They executed on all fronts, and the Jets could not do shit about it. Worst team was the Giants. You let the Raiders drop 30 on you. That's all I need to say. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching, but I don't know if I can keep this series going. This is getting way too hard.